Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. Today, it is the following weekend. It is New Year's Eve tomorrow. Today is Sunday, and we have all day to hopefully get a whole bunch of stuff knocked out on the race truck. My main goal for today is going to be to get the regulator return completely buttoned up, pretty much everything except for down to the fuel pump. But to the front side, the back side of the heads, everything like that, I want to run all of my lines because this whole section over here, driver's side over here, is going to have a ton of lines just going everywhere. So I want to get all that stuff organized and routed the way I want it. We have parts over here, which I'm going to show you guys real quick, because that's going to help us kind of figure out how everything's going to be in place. So the first thing we got here is from Diamond Eye Performance. This is our 4-inch downpipe. This will pretty much be our exhaust setup. We're going to have a 4-inch downpipe, and then we are actually going to be running a stack in the bed, 7-inch, or maybe it was a 6-inch. I can't remember, but that's what our exhaust setup is going to be. And then this piece here, what you see in there is our Mishimoto intercooler pipes and boots, as well as the clamps as well. Obviously, it is polished, so this is going to match everything else that is going to be polished underneath the hood. We actually have a few more things coming as well. Over here, we have our updated turbo drain, so maybe we might be able to get our turbo mounted up today with our up pipes and everything like that. So, yeah, we got a lot to get done. So yeah, as you can see, we have a lot of things that we can be doing out here, so we're going to try and get as much knocked out today. It's like 35 degrees outside. It's almost 40 in here, so we just started up the fire, so hopefully we can get it warmed up even warmer in here, but really not too bad once you start get working. So we're going to kick off this video. We're going to get started, and hope you guys enjoy the video. So the regulator return kit we are using is from Extreme Diesel Performance XDP. This kit is probably one of the best ones that you can buy for the money, honestly. Comes with the regulator, comes with all of your lines for the back of the head, and then you can actually get the fuel bowl delete kit. I think that's like another extra 150 bucks is what we did. And even though we're kind of running a custom fuel setup, we're pretty much utilizing their whole regulator return kit. We just had to make a few modifications for our particular setup. So real quick, this is the regulator that they provide you with, Aeromotive, and then they also it comes with a specific bracket for this application so that it can mount to this ground up here. So that is really sturdy. I really like the way that is set up right there. It's a really clean look. A lot of times, like with Sinister and some other companies, they end up putting it over here, and I don't know, it just makes it look cluttered over there. So this is kind of off to the side. It's got its own little setup over here. So as you can see, we already routed our 1/2-inch return line that is heading down. So that's pretty much where it's going to be. That's going to be heading back to the fuel tank. So now what we will do is we have our feed lines. This is going to be coming from the pump. So this is going to be running along the frame rail over here as well. So we're going to get these two lines buttoned up. We're going to get those tightened down. And then we actually have to get that coolant tube back into place there. So we're going to get these routed, and then we're going to go underneath the truck and get those ones routed. I have some heat tape actually that we're going to be wrapping those. All right, so jumping forward a little bit here, you can see we have both of our lines tightened up that go from the front of the heads, and I have those routed. Let's see those together right here. And then you can also see that we got this tube put back on over here. And then last but not least, we got our crankcase breather piece on here. You can actually call the boys over at T&A Diesel. They can hook you up with a kit. Really nice kit here like this. We're going to have to see as far as fitment goes for our no limit intake that's going to be going through here. But other than that, it's a really nice kit. This piece pops into there, and then it gives you this piece here. This is for pretty much any trucks, and they actually, like, let's say if you don't have a no limit, because the no limit doesn't have a piece for the crankcase, they give you this little cool little black billet piece that you can put into the stock piece to block off that hole for the crankcase. So Really nice kit, pretty reasonable on the price as well. So you can call over at T&A Diesel out of Marshall, Michigan. They can hook you up with a really nice kit like this. We're gonna button that piece up right there, and then we are gonna start heat wrapping our back of the head fuel line so that we can get those routed up to our regulator. So I've already installed the fittings that come in the kit to the back side of the heads. These are the lines. This is the short one, so this will be the driver's side, and then that one over there will be the passenger side. The reason I'm going to heat wrap these is obviously you have your up pipes that are going to come up right next to these two fuel lines. And just there's going to be a lot of heat that's going to be collected back there with the exhaust, the up pipes, the turbo, just a lot of heat going on back there. So we're just going to avoid all scenarios with that by putting on this heat tape that I got from Jegs. Nothing fancy there. It's basically just going to stick to this piece and reflect off heat. Never used anything like this before, so this will be kind of a first experience for me. I've never installed a regular return kit either, so first experiences for everything here going on, so we're just going to start throwing it on and see how it goes. This stuff, I actually really like it. Really like the stuff. Seems to stick really well. A little bit difficult to do, especially when you're going around in a circle, obviously. This was my second one. This was the first one, so I did get a little bit better here. It's not as smooth as I would like it to be, but, I mean, honestly, these are the back fuel lines. Nobody's going to see them anyways. Then these go up to the regulator over there. So, it'll kind of contrast a little bit with this. I like the reflective to it that it has, but yeah, I actually really like the stuff. I'm glad I decided to go with it and do this. So not too bad, just kind of time consuming, and you're getting all tangled up with that thing as you're doing it. So we're gonna go ahead and crawl underneath the truck real quick. We'll get these threaded on, and then we'll route them to our regulator. So we are underneath the truck now, and you can see my one fitting in the back of the head right there. And the other one in the back of the head over here, right there. There you go. Those come supplied with the kit, so we're gonna go ahead and tighten those down. I've already positioned them the way that I wanted them to be positioned to route the fuel lines. This kit does make clearance for like a T4 kit if you wanted aftermarket manifolds, aftermarket up pipes, everything like that. So we're gonna get those tightened up and positioned in the right spot like they are. And then we have our fuel lines over here, which we will route, which I'll show you guys the way I'm gonna do it. And then we'll go tighten them up by the regulator. So we got these lines in. You can see my idea with the routing is that we're gonna take this line that cuts across, we're gonna run him right along there, and then we'll hold them through these little holes that was used to be here for that heat shield that we're not going to be running anymore. And then over here we have our regulator, and we have our lines routed up to here. This is actually the passenger side, this is the driver's side. Pretty much just snuck them right up and over the brake booster here. You can see both of them there. We're going to clean it up a little bit more, zip tie those together so that they're nice and close together, and then they'll be just like that. But we are going to have to get a plug to the side of the regulator right there. This is what they call a boost reference port. It's more for gas cars than it is diesels. But basically what this is for is if you have a turbo, you can run boost to here, which then will push on this spring, which will then increase your fuel pressure as your boost goes up. So diesels don't really need this because we're just mainly looking for a consistent 60 psi roughly fuel pressure. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to plug this port over here, and then we'll be able to set it through here. We're going to pull this plug out and stick our gauge. A gauge came with the Aeromotive, a fuel pressure gauge. So we're going to pull that out, stick that in, and then when we turn the key on, we'll be able to check our fuel pressure and adjust it from there. But yeah, so we'll have to get a plug for that. We'll throw our fuel pressure gauge in there in order to check it. But that's pretty much a rundown on our fuel setup here, our regulator return for the most part here. Like I said, XDP sells the kit. It comes with everything that you see here that I've installed so far. Fittings for the heads, all the lines already pre-made, pre-routed, ready to go. I love the way that looks. That looks sick. It's just, man, just look at that. She's just ready for some fuel. Ready for some fuel. So we've been out here for the past couple hours now, so I think we are going to call it for now with the fuel system. So that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. We are done with the fuel system for now. The regulator return is all tightened up, hooked up, ready to go. The only thing we will have to do is run our push lock fittings, make sure everything's zip tied the way I want it to be and everything back there. And then that'll be pretty much it. So we still have to get the fuel cell, which more than likely we won't be buying that. We won't be getting the fuel cell for a little while just because I think we'll probably just run like a little couple-gallon tank in the bed for now. It's just winter out. We're not going to be taking it for a drive or anything like that. I'd rather throw that on there and then check for leaks, make sure we don't have any problems there before we go buy a fuel cell and have to check all that. So, because we're going to have to get a whole bunch of fittings for that as well. So, but, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm really excited. The Aeromotive is all mounted up. We got all of our lines routed for the fuel system. Looks really, really good. We also got our CCV reroute right there done. Like I said, you guys can call over at T&A Diesel, Marshall, Michigan. Get yourself one of those kits. Super clean, super nice. They fit pretty much anything. I'm kind of curious to see how well it will fit with the no limit intake that we have because it is a massive, massive intake. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Hopefully this kind of gives you guys some insight for a regulator return system on a 6.0 Power Stroke, how it's run, why I like this one. Biggest one, that regulator being off to the side like that makes things so much nicer versus the regulators that sit right by the intake elbow. It's just clogs things up. But this way, everything's moved out of the way. You don't have to remove the regulator just to freaking pull the turbo off. So really like this setup. It's really relatively affordable too. You guys should really run a regulator return setup on anything. If you're on stock injectors, it still benefits from a regulator return, but if you go up into the 175/30s and higher injectors, you're definitely going to want to run a regulator return setup because these injectors are demanding fuel and the factory system is just too restrictive. So we need to make sure we keep constant, good pressure to our fuel injectors. That way you're not flying through fuel injectors because the pulse width that they demand from tuning and stuff. You need a regulated return anytime you want to go bigger on injectors with a 6.0. So hopefully this kind of gives you guys some insight. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, guys, if you guys are new, subscribe, like this video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. This was kind of a learning experience. I've never installed one of these before. So this was much, like I said, a learning experience for me as much was for you guys. So, like I said, leave a comment down below. Like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.